Hello, honey badgers. So I have another Temu haul, DP diamond painting canvas haul to go over. They sell them so cheap that they keep me curious, and they seem to add new canvases all the time. So I find myself checking and finding a lot of interesting ones over there now. So yeah, this could be a recurring thing now. But I wanted to go ahead and get these filmed so that I can go ahead and inventory these and put them in my stash stock. I I broke up the different types of canvases I got. So this video will be the 30 by 40s and smaller. And then I did get some larger canvases for uh, not only my own curiosity, but also I figured other people might be curious about what the larger canvases from Temu look like. So I'll do those in a follow-up video right after this one. Starting with this, I have some like minis over here we can look at, and then a bunch of 30 by 40s. I think this one might be a 35 by 45. But before we get into all that, I figured I'd start off with a couple little things. So I got this pack of diamond painting pens. It's a 4-pack. Let me see if I can get these out of here. It comes with some extra little bits in here. So let me see if I can do this one-handed. All right, there we go. Okay, so I thought it was interesting. It actually comes with a couple little squares of wax, which is nice but odd. I mean, I understand it coming with the kits, but I just found it interesting that it came with just pens. But it does come with these thinner plastic tips. These are the ones I prefer to work with. It looks, oh, this is interesting. I guess it's to give you to see what your preference is, but it also comes with the thicker plastic ones. I have heard some people prefer these thicker plastic ones. I feel I get more accuracy from the thinner plastic ones. So typically when I get new diamond painting pens, what I'll do is or when I get the kits, if they come with these thinner ones, I'll go ahead and save them in my stash, since those are the ones I work with. And I actually don't get a lot of these ones, and these are one of my favorite tips, which I forget. Does it say on here? Yeah, this is the 7 placer. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera, but usually there's a number on there that'll tell you how many drills fit. Oh, there it is. You can kind of almost see it. There we go. You can kind of see a 7. Hopefully that'll focus at some point. But yeah, that's how you can check, is a lot of drills, at least these thinner plastic ones, it'll have a number on it, and that's to tell you how many drills you can typically fit on this. So this is a 7 placer. That's oddly enough, 7 and 4 placer here are my 2 favorite sizes. So that's nice. So yeah, what I was saying is typically what I do is if I get a kit that comes with these thicker, more cloudy looking tips, I usually get rid of those because I don't tip or I don't place as accurately with those. So I'll put those in usually a donation pile with the kits, because you know, a lot of these a lot of the basic kits with the trays and all that, I'll save the wax, but otherwise I don't use a lot of the kits that come with it, except for the baggies. I'll use the baggies. But yeah, I'll usually break them down and then put them in donation boxes for different charities and schools and stuff. So I got this 4-pack. I had actually seen this on Amazon a few times, and I debated about whether to get it or not, because I didn't know. I mean, I thought they were kind of cool looking. I didn't know how much I was going to like them, because online, you see how this, it's almost like an ombre effect here, but you see where this line is? Whenever I've seen it on Amazon, the line looked a lot stronger, like it was almost cut in half, and then it was like a sharp line, and then the other color. For some reason, visually, that strong line being there bugged me. So that was one thing that always made me pause about getting these, but actually seeing them in person, that line is actually a lot more faint. And they're actually really pretty. in person. And one of the reasons I picked this up finally from Temu was that when I had seen it on Amazon, this exact same 4-pack, it was around 20 bucks. And I think when I picked this up on Temu, it was like 9. So yeah, that's how this website gets you, because you'll see something that you've seen on other websites that was like double or triple the price. And then you go on there and it's like a fraction of. And like I said in one of my other videos, I have a suspicion that it works like this because of overstock prices. Like somebody's just trying to clear out their overstock, which I'm not mad about. I'll buy your overstock, whatever. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep all of them. I thought maybe I would end up gifting them. So at least, like, I wasn't sure about this pink and purple one, although that one is kind of nice in person. But usually I'm not the biggest on like pinks and purples together. Usually I'm more of like greens and blues type palette. But I don't know, I'm kind of liking these in person now. So yeah, that was fun. And then I thought I'd do this little one here because when I first pulled this out of the big orange bag, I wasn't sure what it was. And then I heard something moving in there and I was like, oh God, oh no, it's broken, because I couldn't remember what it was. And then when I opened it, I was like, oh no, it's fine. So I had pulled out, it's a little keychain, and I pulled this part out first. And I was like, okay, that's what was rattling. But then I couldn't see like the diamond painting part in there. I just saw the drills and the kit in there. And I was like, oh God, they forgot to send me the actual diamond painting. But no, it is actually stuck down in there. But it's a little luck frog. He's got a little clover. And once you, well, it looks like you do both sides. I've done one of these types before where you drill both sides, and they take a little bit of concentration because they just feel weird to drill both sides. But once you get them done, they're really cool looking. And then it goes on this keychain. I'm not sure exactly how it goes on there just yet. I'm guessing there's a ring or something that clips on there. Haven't figured all that out. But yeah, it's a little luck frog. There's also a turtle option I think you can get, but I liked the frog better for myself. And then these are, you know, no big surprise. It's mostly green and black drills. There's a little bit of brown for the hat and some yellow. I don't think there's any like super special shape ones. I think it's just standard crystal ones for those. So that's what that looks like. Let me move some stuff around over here because I've got limited space. Okay. So moving on to the actual canvases, I got a little table over on the side here, so I'll move them over as we look at them. But this is another one I saw a while back that I was on the fence about, but when I saw it on Temu for like $3 or some whatever it was, I was like, yeah, what the hell? It's cute enough that I'm okay with that price. Oops, let me move these out of the way here. So yeah, it's just a nice like springtime, summertime type image. The little, I think that's a chickadee, I think. But yeah, it's got a little teacup here, some apples, you know, just your floral. I don't do a lot of crazy floral canvases because if it gets too florally, I tend to get a little bit bored. So it needs to have other stuff going on in the image for me to not get bored with it. But I liked the different color variations on this one. And I think between the whites and the reds and the greens and the blues, it's going to pop out enough to be interesting and eye-catching. So this is the palette you're working with. A lot of soft blues, a little bit of red for... I forgot what those are called. Is that a type of violet? I forget now. My mom used to grow those, and now I can't remember. There's some muted yellows, some pinks, some muted oranges, some more green color. I feel like I've been getting a lot of kits lately that have that particular shade of green in it. So, yeah, some... pretty much what you see there, I guess. So this one, 25 colors, does have the DMC. That's what that one looks like. This is a profile one I found by accident on Temu. I wasn't looking for anything specific. This just came up in, oh, hey, you were looking at this. What about this thing? And I was like, oh, that is kind of cool. So I didn't expect like a wild color palette here. Do I have the right one here? This doesn't look like the right one. For some reason, I'm confused now. How about 8? Well, that's interesting. I feel like maybe they didn't send me the right drills for this one. Because I was just noticing this says 5048, but the packet says 8048, because the thing that tripped me up was there's a bunch of green in there. And I don't know where green would go on this. It's all supposed to be purple and white and black and stuff. So yeah, I may have to look at that. They may have sent me the wrong pack, which if they did, it's not a big deal because I have enough spare drills. I mean, I've done probably over 100 kits at this point since I've started diamond painting. I have enough spare drills. I can probably make up whatever doesn't work with what they sent me. So I'm not going to bother with following that up. But yeah, just I guess when you get these kits, be sure that they match up because I just noticed that. So yeah, anyway, the general color palette is going to be a bunch of muted purples and there might be some grays in there, I imagine. Doesn't look like there's any 310, surprisingly. But yeah, probably some dark blues, dark purples, some whites, and neutrals in the background. So yeah, but basically just a woman's profile that I think when you're done is supposed to have sort of a galaxy-like feel. I think one of the things that caught my eye though is like I have a background in studying classic lit, and one of my favorite classic lit books is Frankenstein, and this, like the way the shape of her head just sort of reminded me of Frankenstein's bride in a way. So yeah, there's that one. Okay. Oh, and this one did come with a DMC, separate DMC list, so you can see a little bit better there what it was supposed to look like. So yeah, the only thing is they might have sent me the wrong packet. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, this one was just fun and goofy. So I was just intrigued by it because I like dinosaurs, and I'm not someone who's like a grown-ass woman who's completely enamored with all things unicorns. I mean, I do have a little bit of developmental delay from, you know, some brain damage in my past, but not to the point where I'm that developmentally delayed. Like I'm mostly grown in my head. But every so often, like it's fun to, you know, tap into that child side of you and be okay with it. I think part of the problem we have in the world today is that people are scared to identify with their old child self, and I don't know, they think they have to be really serious and everything. I don't know. I think sometimes you need to let it go and just have some fun. So that's kind of what this is yeah, it taps into, you know, the I don't know, there's a lot of aspects about myself I kind of saw in this image. So yeah, just a fun dinosaur unicorn duo painting. So again, a lot of purples and grays. You're gonna have some bright oranges and yellows, and you're gonna have some white in the clouds. Is that a, let me just see something here. No. Okay. Whenever I see white, I always check to see if it's like that. I think it's 5200 is like the pure bright white color, but this is like the second one down from that, I think, which is 3865. So that's what's going to be in the clouds and the unicorn body, probably around the teeth too. That more beigey tone is going to be in the T-Rex's body up here. And then you have some pinks for the mouth area, I'm guessing. And then in there, there's going to be some, you know, well, like you can see, some greens and purples and pinks for the rainbow. This one also comes with DMC, only 20 colors. So there's that one. Speaking of unicorns, I did see this one. It's another one of those 20 by 20s that I figured I'd experiment with because it was only like $1 or $2 for this one. But I just thought like the color palette was small and sweet and cute, and I figured this could be one that once you frame it or mount it on something could be a really cute display piece. So it's got it's a unicorn, but it's got a little bit of like, I don't know if that's technically plumerias, some kind of tropical flower around the main area. But I was kind of surprised that the color palette in the actual drills is more muted than I thought. I mean, there's a little bit of bright red and some Christmas green in there. But I don't know, I thought it would be a little bit brighter than the palette it came with. But it could still be pretty, and it's one that you could definitely alter if you didn't like the color. You could use your spare drills and go brighter or darker as you want to. But there's a little bit of gray in there for like the muzzle, I'm guessing. And yeah, can't really see the yellow in there. I don't know. But yeah, that's gonna be, I figured it'd be fun and colorful for those in-betweens when I'm doing more gray toned projects. There's that one. This was another one that I saw that I don't think it had an image of what the canvas would actually look like, but again, it was one that was like $2 or something when they were advertising it, and it's a 25 by 25. I figured the design was simple enough, and since the background was basically just kind of watercolor mess in a way, or graffiti type painting, I figured it didn't have to be too technical back there, and the owl was in the forefront enough that it was probably going to come out decently, and I'm fine with the way it looks here. So yeah, that paid off. I'm not seeing a lot of bright colors again though. Why are these all so muted? Let me see if I can open this a little bit. I don't like opening all of these because I don't always get to some of these right away. But I'm just curious if there's, because you'd look at the background and you'd assume there'd be some brighter colors in there, but these look very kind of understated. Let me see. I mean, there's a little bit of orange in there, and there's that kind of bright pop of like greenish bluish tone in there, but yeah, a lot of these are like a lot more softer than I expected, but I think it'll still be nice. And similar to what I said with the unicorn, if you're not happy with the colors, you can always adjust it with your spare drills from other kits. If you're a person that saves your drills from old kits, you can make the background look like whatever you want. So yeah, I thought that one was cute. And this was another one that was just like $1 or $2, and I was thinking it'd be a nice change for, you know, if I've gotten a number of canvases I've worked on that are more in like the dark gray, dark blue palette, if I need a little bit of like a palette cleanser, so to speak. This one is a small, fun, bright colored, rainbowed one. And he's just cute. So this one was more of like what I was expecting for this type, because you can see all the different like rainbow colors it's supposed to come with. And this one is more like what I was anticipating, with like bright greens, bright blues. Yeah, like almost everything in here is a bright pop of color. So that one's gonna be fun. I feel like almost all the kits I've gotten from Temu so far have been canvases with DMC, if that's something that's important to you. I'm not really bothered one way or the other if they do or they don't, but I mention it for people that are particular about having canvases with DMC. And then I couldn't remember if I had mentioned this one in a video. I found it on my desk in my office, so I couldn't remember if I had actually officially hauled it or not. But this is the cat one that I mentioned in, I think it was my first Temu order, where I'd showed you different types of canvases they had on the site, and I said I had gotten this one. So this is what it actually looks like in person. You know, I had mentioned that when you're looking at different types of canvases in the small size things to look for, and I mentioned that this was another one that I'm not sure, I don't think it had an actual image of what the canvas would look like, but because it's a simple enough design, I decided to go ahead and take the risk. Also because since it's a smaller one, these on the sites tend to run $1 to $2 ish typically, and I figured it was only going to be a small amount of colors, which surprisingly though, it says there's 15 colors in here. I thought it was maybe going to be like 10 at the most, but somewhere in there. Usually though, when you see something this small and you see like 10, 20 colors, that typically means there's going to be a lot of colors that only have like a handful of drills, and they just send you a whole pack anyway. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, he's so cute. And then on the animal theme, I did watch Scooby-Doo as a kid. He wasn't my favorite, but I was entertained by him. And I saw a similar, I don't know if it was this design or a design similar to this that was in a much bigger canvas through Diamond Art Club. And their canvas, I just felt like it was way too big for what the design was. I thought it was cute, but I was like, I don't necessarily need it that damn big, because I think originally they were offering it because that's typically what Diamond Art Club does. They like to do things like 40 by 60 or something and up, and every so often they come out with a 30 by 40, but then like you're still paying Diamond Art Club prices for it. But I think with this one, it was one of their larger ones that was like a 40 by 50 or 40 by 60 or something like that, and I was just like, as simple as it is, I don't really need it that damn big. So when I saw, I don't know if it was this exact design though, but it was pretty similar. So when I saw this one, it was cute enough that I was like, all right, well, since I did watch Scooby-Doo and appreciate him a little bit as a kid, I thought this one was cute enough. And again, it was like $2 or $3. As you can probably tell, it's mostly just red and pinks in here, which is not normally my color palette, but I do work with that sometimes. But there's going to be a little bit of that sort of tealish blue, or what sort of in the teal blue family down in there. You can kind of see that's going to be along the edges of the flowers and the collar. I'm guessing that might be around this golden part, which I don't know. That is it? L? What is L? Nope, that's 14. Oh, no, I see it in there. There's a little bit brighter yellow down in there, so that's going to be there. And then just like, as you can see, a lot of light pinks, dark pinks, medium pinks, a little bit of red. They almost got him looking like Clifford the dog here, but no, just a simple Scooby-Doo design. What's next? Okay, just a couple more for this video. I'm gonna like stretch over here. Okay, so we got a Jesus one that you've probably seen this particular image a lot, or some variation of it. I grew up in a sort of divided religious family. A lot of like mixed religions in my family, but religion was always around. So yeah, like my grandfather was actually training to be a priest some years before he met my grandmother. So yeah, religion was always around me, and I always grew up fascinated with religious art, but it has to be kind of special to me. Like I'm not the type of person that just puts anything that says like God or bless or hashtag blessed or whatever on the walls. I don't like to be that generic with it. I like ones that actually have something in the face that speak to me. And I always liked the way that Jesus's face is portrayed in this one whenever I've seen this image. So again, this one was only like $4, I think, on Temu, and I've seen it in other places where it's been like 8 or 9. So yeah, I figured that was a nice one. I have a few other religious ones that I figured, it's just another one to add to the collection. When it comes to like crucifixion images, I don't like to get too gruesome with the art with mine. So I like ones that show Jesus more in like the speculative phase. I don't necessarily like the art so much where he's all beaten up, and like I understand the importance of it, but I don't, just like as an art piece, I don't necessarily like having it in my face all the time, of like seeing Jesus brutalized just on a daily basis. So I tend to go for the ones that, like here, he's got a little bit of a blood stain, but it's not like graphic as some of the other ones I've seen. So there's that one. It's going to be a very muted palette. As you can see, it's going to be mostly browns. I think let's see, there's a little bit of red in the robe. I don't know that you can see the color palette there. There's going to be some more muted pinks. There's a little bit of, that color family I call army green. That's probably going to be in there a little bit. But yeah, there's that one. And let's see, this is another one that I've seen multiple times and I've been on the fence about on other sites, but again, I think it was like $3 on Temu, so I was like, yeah, why not? Let's go for it. And I mainly got it because it reminds me of architecture I grew up around in San Diego. And so, yeah, I just thought whenever I have those homesick moments, I can have this, on the wall or something to be like, oh, yeah, no. So, let's see. I don't know that I would say the colors are muted, but they're definitely going to be softer and more tropical. That blue and that green next to each other is always nice. I'm guessing that's going to be like trees and water. There's a little bit of reddish brown in there. I'm thinking though, oh yeah, I can kind of see it in there. I was going to say there should be some more pinkish tones in there, and I think I can see it behind this dark blue. Some different shades of blue for the water. A little bit of white and some sort of peachy tones for the walls and walkway here. So yeah, it's a nice little piece of home in a way. At least one part of my childhood. I kind of grew up all over San Diego County, so part of my childhood was in the beach area and part of it was in high desert, depending on if I was with grandma or mom. So there we go. Okay, and then this is the last one for this video. This is the one that I said I believe is the 35 by 45. I feel like it said it. Oh, it might be over here. 45 by 35. Okay, because it's horizontal. So yeah, it's just an infinity pattern with the rainbow feather. I think the background is pretty much just the white, so that the colors behind it, well, I mean, you have colors back in here that's sort of like the fade from the feather colors. But this outside rim is going to be just pretty much white, I think. The basic white. Is this the 5200 over here? Let me see. No, it's that secondary one, 3865. I don't know if there's a lot of kits that go for the 5200 anymore, but oh lordy, there's a lot of it in there. So yeah, if you don't like doing a lot of white backgrounds, this might not be the one for you. But this is another one that I thought could be really visually fun to look at once it's done and mounted and everything. Plus, I just have a kind of weird fascination with the infinity symbol since I was a kid. Just some bright blues, some bright greens. There's going to be a mix of some sort of muted yellow and bright yellow in there. Looks like there's a little bit of that orange tone in there. It looks like there might be some of that sort of white pink color. And some 939, so that's probably going to be in the shading areas. That's that dark blue. Some 820, which is like a little bit lighter, darker blue, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's that one. That was sort of like a last minute, yeah, throw it in the cart kind of decision, because this one, I think this one was one of their lightning deals when I picked this one up. So yeah, that's what I have for the most recent standard canvases haul. Other than the large canvases I'm about to film, I also have a Temu haul of like sort of, I don't know, what would you call them, like accessories, jewelry, purses, you know, all the girly stuff. So if you're not into the DPs, that accessories haul is going to come up pretty soon, as my filming battery holds up. So we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.